Hi, and welcome to my channel. It is the 20th of August. It's 9 o'clock at night, but I decided I kind of am feeling September planning. And here's the deal. Somebody requested that I make a video about how I plan for each month with the multiple YouTube channels that I have and also planning books. And I added the part about planning books. That's not what somebody asked. But what I wanted to look at in that is how I do plan these things. And the first thing we're going to look at is the book situation. Okay, I am mostly out of the way up here, and I have created, this is my normal monstrosity thing that I usually show y'all. That's not what we're looking at. I have copied every one of these sheets. Let me get on the other side. Okay, I've copied every one of these sheets that is not a TBR game. So we have storygraph from May, which I'm still not finished with. I have one book left. We have the monthly reads for June, storygraph for June, which I've not read any books. It's August the 20th. What? Also, my year in Aeldia for Adrian and Emmeline, I have not read for June. I read my buzzword book. Then I have the storygraph June. I have the storygraph July. I've not read any of these. I have read the July books for Aeldia, but I have not read my buzzword book for August, which means I didn't even make one for July. I did make one for July. I just finished them all. That was unexpected of me to have done that, so I didn't think to look in the done section. Okay, back over. So I've got August storygraph. I mean, it is the month of August, so technically I don't have to be done with these, but I've not read any of these. Then I've got September and October's book clubs, which I've only got 2 books for. I do know what this book is. Let me go add that. Okay, so there it is, The Swallows. That is our September book in my Sunday Escape book club. Then for October, I already know the neighborhood book because I picked it out and I've already read it. Let me put my little check mark here. So I just have to re-skim it so that I'm ready to talk about it at book club, but I don't have to reread this book. Okay, what that means is these are the books. Okay, let me move again. These are the books that are old at the top, like meaning before the month of September, because we're prepping for September. And then these are the 2 books that I know I have to read in September, plus the Swallows that I forgot to add. So 3. These 3 books that I have to read for September. Now, if you saw the video that came out right before this, which is my TBR for Aurelium Academy, then you know that I have a lot more books than this to read. And here they are. So there's no way that I'm reading all of these in 1 month. That's 41 books. And even when I'm reading a ton of books, I'm not reading this many books in 1 month. So I am planning a different way of doing my TBR. And that is going to be where I am going to be reading 1 audiobook and then 1 physical or ebook at a time, and doing nothing but those 2 books to get through all of these in the month. That's 25 books. So that's still going to be a lot, but 25 books is much more doable than 41. So my plan right now is that I will read these books, prioritizing them first, and then when I'm finished with those, I'm going to do these in order of the ones that are available. Some of them are on hold. Some of them will have to be on hold or whatever to do those, to get those done. But these books are going to be priority number 1. And so now what I'm going to do for all of these 25 books is I am going to put them on a page by themselves and then sort them based on how I'm going to read them. So if I'm going to read something physically, that's going to go in one group because or in an ebook with my eyeballs. If I'm reading with my eyes, that's going in one place. If I am reading with my ears, that's going in separate places based on, do I own this on Audible or Chirp, or can I get it on Everrand? Am I going to be able to get it from Libby? Do I have to put it on hold from Libby? Like those kinds of things. So that is going to take a little bit for me to figure that out. Some of them I already know because I've had them on TBRs before, so that will be easy to do. The rest of them will not. I'll have to figure it out. And I forgot to throw in here that because I'm reading Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which is the retelling, I have to actually read Pride and Prejudice because that's part of the hardest reading challenge. You've got to read the classic and the retelling. I guess technically it doesn't say that you have to read the classic first, but I feel like I should do that. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to add that in. Maybe I can squeeze that in before the month is over. And that's another thing that I need to do is I'm going to focus over here on these top books for the rest of this month and just see how many I can get done. I'm not finished with this round of the monstrosity yet, but I almost am. And when I finish this round, I'm pretty much wiping this slate clean and restarting with what's going on over here. And then we will continue that into October. And hopefully I will get a better grasp on getting these books read and being satisfied with the books that I have. So the first thing I'm going to do right now is divide them up the way they should be. And then I have my planner here to an empty notes page at the end of the month of August or the beginning of September. And I'm going to write down the books in order that I am planning to read them. Now, if I have to put them on hold at Libby and they become available, then I will probably read them when they become available. I know that Somewhere Beyond the Sea is not even coming out until the month of September, and I don't know when. So I need to look that up and find out when that's coming out. And then I can start having a better idea of what I'm reading when and where I'm getting it from. So I'm going to take a little while to do that. I'm probably just going to check back in with y'all tomorrow when I start actually looking at a calendar and kind of planning out what my September is going to look like as far as videos go. But this is what I'm doing tonight. I'll probably work on this for about 30 more minutes before I go up to bed. So anyway, the first thing I do is check Libby for everything. Well, the first thing is I go over here to this spreadsheet that has every book I own on it, and I go through there. Now, it does not have all the Kindle books that I own because I bought a whole lot more on the Stuff for Kindle Day, So I'm going to look over here, make sure I don't already own something. Then I'm going to go to Libby, look them all up on Libby, and then from there I move to Everrand because that's also something that I pay for, so it's free-ish. And then I go to Audible as a last resort if I have to do that. But there's very few books that I have to. Now they're getting a lot better about not being only on Audible or Audible exclusive or whatever. Some of them still are, like Dungeon Crawler Carl, but not all of them are. And I did just get 2 new credits over there, and I'm planning to use them for those 2 Carl books on my TBR. So I'm going to get started, start looking things up, see what I have. Okay, it is the next morning. I did these things last night. I did go ahead and put these 3 books right here on hold at Libby. So The Devil in the White City, The Foxglove King, and Funny Story. Those are all on hold. I have 6 books that are available on Everrand right now. I've got 7 books that I already own on Audible. TJ Kloon's Somewhere Beyond the Sea is coming out on the 10th of September, so I have that written here to let myself remember. Physically, I have Spy Family. That one is up on my shelf back there. And my son, I had to do a non-reader recommendation, and he reads very occasionally. So he recommended A Death in the Family, which is a Batman graphic novel. So he has a copy of that book. So he's going to bring it to me next time I see him. And those are the 2 that I'm going to read physically. I already owned Cage of Souls on Chirp, which is good because my library did not have it anyway. But my library did have 7 of the books. So they are ready to be checked out. I have not checked them out yet because I get them for 21 days and I didn't want to do it because it's just now the 21st of August. So I'm going to wait till we get a little closer. Maybe the last week of August, I'll go back and check and make sure none of them need to go on hold. The only issue that I might have right now is that one of those 3 holds, I think, has like 6 weeks before it's supposed to be available. And I don't remember which one that is, but that might make it a little bit more difficult to get it read by the end of the month if I don't get it. So anyway, my plan will be the ones that I own, which is this middle section right here. These will be the last ones that I read. I'm going to start out with the Libby books over here, and I might go back and forth and do like Libby, Everand, that kind of situation. But the Everand books aren't going anywhere either. So if I need to, I can just focus on the Libby books, and might be what I do is go ahead and check all of them out from the library near the end of August, and then I have them available for me in September to just go through and read whatever order I want to do them in. So I feel really good about how this looks at the beginning of the month. I like that I already know everything I'm reading. I don't have to worry about weird books being added in or anything like that. I do still have in the back of my mind, I still have this list up here at the top of books that I'm going to read. And so if something happens and I finish all of these books, then I will immediately go to these books over here. And I'm going to leave this page like this. I like how it's divided up. Over here I have my book club reads. And then in the middle I have all of my Aurelium Magical Readathon books, and then up at the top is all of my monthly reads from previous months that I have not done. Now, what I also haven't done are the September books for my storygraph TBRs. So I will need to add those once I've picked them, which will be coming up soon, just not yet. So this whole video is supposed to be about planning September. So what I'm going to do now off camera, because I need to look at a few different things that we have. Well, first of all, I'm going to feed Django, but this is what my September calendar looks like in my notebook, which is literally just blank. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a pencil and write in any of trips, or we're not going anywhere, but we might be doing a few like weekend things. So I want all of those to be written out and ready to go. Django is a little bit cold. It is a little cool this morning. I got up earlier than normal because I'm working a longer shift today, and I have running club tonight. For me, it's walking club, but it's actually a running club. Anyway, so I got up a little bit earlier, which means it's colder outside than it is when I usually get up. And anyway, Django's cold. So maybe I'll get him a sweater and I'll feed him. And then I will come over here, like I said, and I will just pencil in some things for the month that I need to plan out. And then I'll come back, and as I'm filling it in with a pen, I'll talk to you about what I'm doing. Okay, so it still looks pretty blank. Yes. The only thing I've done is I should have every other Saturday off from work. So I've put a tiny O in some of the Saturdays right here. I have one dinner already planned, and we're going to go to the Air Museum on this Saturday. And then this is a holiday, so I have this day off. And then every other Friday I should have off, so I did off and off. And that's it. That is all I've done so far. We have no plans of actually leaving town, going anywhere this whole month. So what the next step is so I have 3 channels. The first channel we're going to do is Wanderlost. That is the channel that we do after we go somewhere. I actually want to put right here that maybe we try to do a hike that day. It'll depend on if I have to work or not. There's a question mark beside that O, because maybe I do. Anyway, when we go to the Air Museum and if we go on any hikes, we will video those, and they'll go out in October. So the things we do in September go out in October, which means the things we do in August come out in September. And we only had one video that we did in August for Wanderlost. So what I usually do is I take the number of videos and I divide it by that many days, so I know how many days a video comes out. So on the first of the month, there's always a video saying what's coming up in August. And what's coming up in August is one video. So since I'm doing this video on the 1st, that means that the 15th is when we are going to be doing the other video. And this video is already filmed and it's going to be edited at some point this week. So that'll be ready to go. I won't have to do anything with Wanderlost for the whole month. And then down here at the end of the month, or really the first day of October, there will be another video coming out. So every 2 weeks, just about, there will be a video coming out on Wanderlost. So that channel is done and fixed. Then I look at reading and writing. I write that there. Not that that matters. That's just so I can keep up with what I'm doing. And then what I'm going to do is I put videos out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Wanderlost. So Monday, I look and see. Monday is Labor Day. There's not really any holidays or anything happening that I want to make sure I read something specifically for. So somewhere in here, I want to do a 50 before 50 update. I want to do a Herkiad update. I also want to do vlogs of what I'm reading and how it's going. I'm also really thinking about doing part of the Herkiad thing is 3 books in 24 hours. And so I want to use Spy Family and then 2 of the other books on my list, maybe one of the middle grade books and then another one that's at least 300 pages, and just do the 3 books in 24 hours. So I think I'm going to put that on the 9th because that gives me plenty of time to film that over this Labor Day weekend, and then I can put that up. So I'm going to say 3 in 24, and I know what that means. It's going to go up on the 9th. And then, oh, I know the middle of the month, which will be the 16th, I'm going to do the mid-month check-in, which means the end of the month, which I guess is going to be the 2nd, I'm going to do August wrap-up. Okay, so I'm almost got all my Monday videos. I am going to right here, maybe I'll do it on the 23rd, do October plans. I know that somewhere in here I've got to do, maybe I'll do it right here on the 4th. I'm going to be co-hosting the Dark Tower readathon. And so I think I want to do the Dark Tower information video on the 4th, which we're finalizing that next week. Everything will be done and finalized. And so I can film the announcement video for it. And then maybe the next week I'll do my Dark Tower TBR. That way people will see what I'm reading and it'll give them ideas. I can also give ideas in that video as well. And then, let's see, I did say I was going to be filming some vlogs. I do still have one monstrosity left that I don't know when. I do know when I'm going to finish it. I'm going to put it here for now. I'm just writing Monstro for that Friday video. So I've got the first week done. I've got half of the next week. If I look back over here in August, I've got ideas, how I plan, which is what I'm doing now, editing tips, and then how to do daily videos, like a how-to kind of video. So I think I'll put that on this Friday, like a how-to, and then I'll pick whichever one of those I want to make that day. Then I've got 5 days left in the month to plan something. I still haven't done, I'll do a 50 before 50 check-in here. And I guess I'll just do the Herkiad check-in here. And I want to do a TBR game. Maybe that'll give me enough time to feel like I'm kind of in a better place as far as reading goes this month, since I'm switching it up a lot. This will give me a better idea of where I'm doing. And then I'm just going to leave this Friday and this Monday blank for now. And as things come up, if I have a vlog that I want to put in here, like I can shift everything down one or anything like that, just depending on what I decide I'm going to do when it comes to filming what I'm reading in September. So that is the reading and writing one. Then we have Sims. So these are all the Sims videos that I do, and they're going to be divided up into like an every other week situation. So the first thing that happens is that every Monday I put out the Ultimate Decade. It's not part of the rotational thing. It is the most popular series on my channel, and it is going to take the longest as well. So I want it happening once a week, no matter what. So those are Mondays every time. And then Tuesdays are going to rotate between two different playthroughs. One of them is called Super Sim, and the other one is another challenge called Not So Berry. Okay, then Wednesday is also going to rotate through two different ones. And this is the first time, the first full month that I'm going to have doing it this way, where it is not going to be like as chaotic as it has been before. It's going to have it's going to follow this pattern through the whole thing, and it's not going to be messed up. Okay, and then I'm pretty much just doing this same thing. Like each day is rotating through each week, I guess. We rotate through two different things per day. So that is how I do that. And then Sundays every other week is nothing. Technically, I guess that means I have an extra spot for one more video. But I am definitely not filling that in with anything right now. So that is what it looks like, all penciled in. And now I just need to pick 3 different colored pens and write them all based on the color of the pen that goes with the videos. And that's it. Okay, so I've written everything in here in the color that corresponds with the channel that it goes with. And then the only thing left to do is plan out next week. Now, next week is still August. However, I like to film 1 week in advance. That way, if anything comes up or changes, I have a little bit of a buffer time in between there. So Monday, August 26th, I'm going to be filming for the first week of September. So then what I do is I go here to this first week of September, and you can see that the first day is on a Sunday. And so I look at all the videos that I want to put out between the 1st and the 7th, and I write them all down. And what I have started doing is writing them on Monday. So on Monday of that week, I write them all right here. Now you can see these are all the Sims videos. These are the reading videos. And this is the Wanderlost video. So that is everything that I want to get filmed and edited by the by the end of this week. And that will cover me through the 7th of September. Then, based on my work schedule, so I know that some of you, I have a part-time job outside of the house, so I'm gone about 20 hours a week. However, ironically, the week that I decided to share with you, I'm working 31 hours because my coworker, she and I kind of share the hours, and she's gone all week. So I have more hours that I'm working. So you will notice out beside all of these videos, there is a day of the week put out there. And you'll also notice that the Sims videos are all Monday and Thursday only. So I'm planning to do those 7 videos, and that means filming them, not editing and finalizing and all of that stuff. That's just filming. Happens on Monday and Thursday. I'm still working at the library on Monday and Thursday, but I have enough time because I'm working in the afternoons on those days. So I have time in the mornings to get stuff filmed. So that's my plan. Film back to back in the mornings on Monday and Thursday. Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm pretty much working all day. I might be able to edit some in the evening. Well, I definitely will be able to edit in the evening, but I will not be able to film. Then for the reading videos, they've all got Friday for Dark Tower announcement, and then Saturday on the other 2, and also Saturday on this one. The Wanderlost video, I need my husband to film with me, so I need to kind of work around both of our schedules, which means we're probably going to end up doing it on Saturday. Now, I'm off work on Saturday, and we do have a family trip planned to go to a local museum That's not going to take very long. That'll just be a nice little, let's get out of the house for a little while and go do this thing. So I will be working around that. So when I know that my hours at the library is heavier, or when I have more hours at the library, I know that I'm going to be working Saturdays and Sundays. And that's okay. That's just what I've chosen to do based on what I'm doing right now. And I know it's not going to be like that forever. It's a temporary situation. Me working is a temporary situation. We're not going to always live here in North Dakota where we are right now. So I know that things are going to change, and I will just make adjustments when they change. But for now, this works for me. It works for the way our lives work. We, on the weekends, take a little bit of time to decide who is free during the week and who's going to be cooking the nights of the week. What night of the week is nobody going to cook, and we're going to have leftovers or sandwiches or whatever we can find. So we work together to do that, and then everybody works around everybody's schedule, and that's how we do it. So that is how I plan for the upcoming month and the upcoming week. And like I said, I always like to keep a week ahead because I don't know what's going to happen. Like this week is going to be really busy at the library, and maybe I'm not going to have time, like literally just not have time to get everything filmed. Maybe there's going to be an update in The Sims and it breaks everything, like happens a lot. And so I have to kind of pivot and figure out what to do instead of what I had planned to do. And that's going to happen to everybody all the time, no matter what. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any more questions about planning. I wasn't intending on sharing this, but I shared a lot of my plans in July when I did the daily vlogs. And so a couple of people showed interest in wanting to see how I plan other things. So that's what we did. I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.